Bitcoin did the unexpected and broke an important resistance line. I think there's a huge opportunity right now to long and short Bitcoin. I'm going to explain to you guys what happened on Bitcoin and also what is going to happen on Bitcoin, because right now I see an important short that maybe you can take actually right now. And also I've got a new long idea because Bitcoin broke out of the most important yearly volume, the second highest volume in the past year. So let me right now flip to the TA because I must talk about what's happening and what's going on Bitcoin, because yesterday we had seen actually, as you can see, Bitcoin trying to break or fake out 105. We had talked about how Bitcoin was actually within a range, and I spoke about how we can actually technically trade this range. I told you guys that I'm going to be either waiting for a little long here, and I also would prefer, to be honest, this area for a long and also this area for a short. So yes, I was waiting at the night, midnight, Sunday to Monday. I was waiting once the CME opens for any sign of weakness so I can actually get a nice short based on these highs being taken. However, why didn't I short the 105 resistance line? As you can see clearly and as easily, if someone is questioning how exactly to know what is considered a fake out, a bad reaction or a good reaction, as you can see on the lower time frame, even on the 30-minute time frame, we easily did not actually lose the 105 104 area. We quickly just hit it and then immediately broke out of it. To be honest, I even made the most out of using the order flow app. I saw the huge amount of shorts that were literally open whilst we're hitting the area, which shows me, to be honest, that multiple people or multiple traders are trying to literally short the same idea. So I saw with the visual, to be honest, clearance in terms of candles, I saw visually that the candles were strong. I did not see any sign of weakness in terms of at least closing 1 hourly candle below 104. And even with that being said, I actually, to be honest, made the most out of using the order flow app. As I told you guys, for now I haven't been able to actually open it on the current Mac that I stream from, but I always got it open in my laptop, as you can see guys. So I basically just saw that shorts are opening, the CME is going to open, and I saw visually that candles are not closing below 104, hence why I decided against the fact that I'm going to short here, even though, as I told you guys, it's always scenario based or scenario backed plan. So yes, we had, just to be totally transparent, we had a plan with my previous live streams also on this channel, and even on the Moon's Weekend show from yesterday I spoke about how we can actually, after we had gotten the bounce from 102 101, we had actually waited for a reaction here. If we had actually faked it out, then this would have been actually a nice short, but just because I saw no visual weakness and a lot of shorts opening, high shorts means that everybody trying to actually trade the fake out, hence why we actually pushed up higher. So right now what I'm going to talk about is how we can make the most out of this break, because as I told you guys, I'd never, to be honest, like try to long the break out of 105, even though, just to give you a better idea of why 104.6 or just the zone of 105 to 104 is very, very much important, because as I told you in the previous live streams and also videos, that if you go on a higher time frame and take literally the whole period for the past year guys, and you put a volume profile on, let's say from November 2024 to the current price action, which is also November, we'll have a whole volume profile pull for the whole past year, or to be precise 365 days. And based on that, you can clearly see how important two levels of interest are. The first one is obviously the 97 one. I'm still waiting for it, and if we get it, this is going to be honestly the best long ever. However, we also should not forget about the 104 105 area as the second highest volume area, as you can see very clearly. Hence why I'm going to talk about how important the break and holding 105 would be and could be on Bitcoin. And also I'll talk about little scalps, shorts and longs right now that we can actually take all together, because if I go on a lower time frame, I've explained previously how it is not, to be honest, preferred in my way of trading to actually long the breakout. So even though I spoke about in my previous live streams, in my previous videos, that breaking out of 105 would cancel the idea of getting a short here, and then I'd be expecting a push up to 108. This is actually happened and is happening right now, and I'm still expecting higher right now. I'm going to talk about my expectations later on, but just to give you a better idea of why I actually I'm against, to be honest, like longing the break out of this, because as I told you here, at this area of interest at 104, 105, we either see some weakness and then jump into a short based on us faking out the highs, or if we do not get this, I'm going to be staying away from longing or shorting, because to be honest, as I told you guys, expecting higher to come. But to be honest, you'd never catch me trying to long here. I either get my short, and if I don't, then I'm going to be waiting for the better short at the areas that I'm going to speak about now next. Because as I told you, now that we're done with this, I'm going to talk about the importance of holding 104, 105, the level that we just broke yesterday, and also why am I exactly waiting for higher prices. I think that Bitcoin can easily push up to 106.7, 108. I'm going to give you my expectations with stats backing them up, and I'm also going to tell you guys the best long and short setup that if given on live, I'm going to give it or take it with you guys. Because right now, let's focus on this area of interest. I'm going to forget everything else. Just remember that 105, 104 is the current support, and 107 to 108 is the current resistance line. And based on this, I'm going to give you an idea for a long, and then end it off with an idea for a short. Basically, the first long idea is us back testing and retesting the area that we just broken out of. As I told you guys, I'd never, to be honest, you'd never catch me trying to long the break out of that important resistance line, but I'm also quite happy if we get given a back down move to the same area and then retesting it as support. I told you guys I always look to long whenever we're going down, so you'd never catch me like getting into a long, because this one, to be honest, would be a low probability trades. Like I'd hate to get too long here, because you'd never know, we either go up, which could be good, but we also have a higher likelihood of us going lower. So just to avoid that, avoid losing money by longing here, I'd much rather just wait for the price to go up and then look for a little retracement within the current price action of us being a bit bullish now, and then waiting for support to be hit and then for a long. So the point is right now is I'm going to be waiting for a long. The long is basically us retesting 105, 104, this little whole zone of area. As you can see, I've got it in green, and also with confluence with this little anchored view up. I always look for confluence. I look for multiple ideas that would support me entering a long or a short. So in this case, we've got this little anchored view up that basically shows you when did we start this little uptrend. I'm talking about this little local one from 101.4 back up to 106.6. So based on this little local trend, we've got this anchored view up in confluence and at confluence with our area of interest. So if you go back down, the point is I'm going to actually look to long here. So my long or my next long would be actually just below 105 to 104.4. This is the area to long, especially because, just to give you a good stat that you should keep in mind, basically on Monday, just remember this, on Monday, the high of Monday has a high likelihood of being taken out if we do not put it on during the New York session. So for example, right now, where is the high of Monday? The high of Monday is right now setting at 106.6. As you can see, this is clearly the high of Monday. And basically, there's like 80 to 90% on Mondays that we take out the highs once the New York session opens. And right now, we've got 2 hours till the New York session opens. So my expectation is, to be honest, for this high to be taken, not only because it is Monday and the highs of Monday usually get put during the New York session, but also because we clearly have some nice liquidity sitting just under the a high of Monday. So we've got the stat of Monday being taken out during the New York session, and also us having liquidity here. So maybe the point is, or what I'm trying to get at here is, if and only if, imagine that, like if we fall lower before taking out my expected price, which is going higher, I'm going to be planning to long here. Why? Not only because this is a nice area for a long, but also like an additional confluence or an additional idea that would support me actually getting a pump here would be because I'm expecting this high to be taken. So if we get, or if this high gets taken now, before we go lower, then I'm planning a short. I'm going to talk about it next, but just let's say that we do not get this high taken prior to us going lower. If we go lower first, then I'm going to be actually more confident about trying to long here, because we would be also having the expectation of going higher just to take out the high. Now we got the long covered. Now let me also talk about the next short idea that I'm also planning to take. As I told you guys, I always look for little liquidity grabs and also for important area of resistance just to be taken before shorting. I always look for a bump to the upside before shorting. So even as I told you guys, I'm waiting for a dump to long, and I'm waiting for a to be honest, a pump too short. Probably we can actually have them both happening, so maybe we can get this and then get the other one. But to be honest, I do not care. I've got an alert set at 106.6, so I can maybe think about shorting, and I also got an alert at 104.6. Whatever comes first, I'm going to take, based or at least having in mind that we need the good reaction for it. So obviously, if we get like a hit or we hit 104.6 and we lose it immediately, I'm not going to long because we need a visual reaction and with the order flow backing it up. But to be honest, if we get a good reaction, I'm going to be confident in jumping into a long. A good reaction means whenever we're talking about longs is obviously like bouncing and holding a line. And when I'm talking about a good reaction when it comes to shorts, obviously we need to see fake outs and actually us going below a certain area of resistance, especially the beginning of the liquidity grab. Now that we're done with this, I'm going to also say or talk about how important it is to actually go back above to 108, 107, and why technically even right now we haven't quite cleared all the danger zone for Bitcoin. I'm saying that I'm quite happy with Bitcoin actually going above 104.6. This could be actually the beginning of some nice pump to the upside, but I think that everybody should not become happy just quite yet, because I see that the most important area in terms of us pumping much higher should be or would be at 108, 107, the area where I'm planning my short next. Imagine that, because this area, I'm going to give you reasons that would back up my explanation or the reasoning why I think that this is the most important area. Firstly, as I told you guys, I always like to break up the price action based or using the volume profile tool. And on this little section of the chart, I basically can view Bitcoin within two ranges. The first one is this little higher, much bigger range. As you can see, let's make it more yellow. I think that would be easier. And we got this first one, and we also got this little one that was made, I think, for the past week. We've got this little one, and then right now we are breaking and coming back above to this first one. But just using the volume profile tool would much help us decide whether this price action has gotten into the previous range or not, because like visually, if you do not use volume, if you do not use the volume profile, one would say that yes, now just because we went back above here, now we are within this previous range. But if you use the volume profile tool, you'd find out that us being at 106 is not sufficient enough for us to say that Bitcoin has now reclaimed this previous range. So right now, let me just open and widen your horizon, guys, by actually using the volume profile tool. If I take the volume profile tool and I put it from at the beginning of this range at the 11th of October to the current price action, or sorry, the previous or the end of the previous range, you would clearly see that we have not fully went back above and reclaimed the range. Even though visually, using the price action, using candles, you think that the range starts here and ends here. But as you can see, using the volume profile tool, you'd clearly see that we've got the value area high sitting here, not at the top, and also the value area low sitting at 108, 107.7. So what I'm trying to say right now is, even though we are happy about the break above 105, about Bitcoin actually breaking out of this little local range that we've done previously, but still the danger zone is not actually fully left by Bitcoin, because I think that the most important area for us to reclaim is 107.8, or let's just make it easier and say 108. To be honest, 108 would be the area to reclaim, because not only do we have the beginning of this little previous range, as you can see, and if reclaimed, then I'm going to be expecting, if we reclaim 108, I'm going to be expecting us pumping easily and quickly back above to 104, or sorry, 114. This would be my expectations if we break out of 108. But as for now, we have not done this yet. So as I told you guys, it being an important area to flip, us saying that if we break 108, we'll go to 114, that would actually mean, rather than just focusing about the potential pump, we'll focus more on it as an important resistance to short, because I always look at these areas for possibilities and chances to short, especially because we also got this confluence of this anchored view up, basically that shows us when we started this downtrend. We started a downtrend from, not the only downtrend, this is a downtrend, because we obviously can call this whole area from the all-time high to the low as a downtrend. even though this is more important, right now we're going to focus on the downtrend that was started at 116. And using the anchored the anchored VWAP, you'll see how we've got this at confluence with the value area low. So we've got 107.8, just to be precise, as the important area in terms of volume, and also we've got this anchored view up sitting just right under it at 116.9. so see how we've got an full area, literally an area of confluence from 107.8 back down to, let's say, 106.8. So $1,000 that must be reclaimed. We also got this little NPOC at 107.2. so all of these added together would give us, or just show us, I'm going to add another resistance line, by the way, or a resistance area. Just all of these together would be actually showing us that we are not quite fully out of the danger zone, guys. Even though I'm liking the fact that we broke out of 105, we can technically sell, yes, actually get a nice short here, and then maybe, just maybe, lose 105 again and go much lower. So please do not be overly happy right now. I'm quite ecstatic about the fact that for once at least Bitcoin is pumping, but I need you always to be actually cautious and worry of the fact that maybe Bitcoin is just giving us little pumps within the larger dump we've seen. Because as you can see, like even prior to that, we had seen Bitcoin go from 126, the all-time high, back down to 104, 103, and then we literally saw a pump like from 103 back up to 116. So that was actually something that is nice, but it didn't quite give us the final, or sorry, a push to the all-time high. So just to avoid seeing what we have, or getting what we happened or gotten previously, I need you guys to be worried of the fact, like, if we manage not to reclaim 108, then I'm going to be expecting this to happen similar to what happened previously. But if we reclaim 108, I'm going to tell you guys that now we can cancel the idea of this being similar to this, and then we're going to see higher price. Now that we're done with this, I need you also to see something similar that would maybe like force us, or at least like give us or help us say that this area is very, very important, because this could be similar to what happened previously. Remember that I've said, guys, that this downtrend had given us then a little pump, and where the pump we topped out before going lower was basically, if we use the Fibonacci tool, we can clearly see that we had seen, taken from the volume from the top all-time high to the low that we put, we can clearly see that we actually topped out literally in between the 0.5 area up to the 0.6 area, so at around 0.52 with the Fibonacci level. So we only pumped back up 50% of the previous dump. So we dumped, which is 100%, and then we pumped 50% of the previous dump. If we use the same idea, and just to see if it is similar to what we're having right now, if I take the same Fibonacci pull, rather just putting it from the all-time high, I'll put it from here, or from the local high to the local low we've put at 98, we'll see that right now Bitcoin is getting closer to the 0.5% area. So see how similar this move up could be actually to the previous little fake pump that we've seen from 103 back to 116. I'm not saying that Bitcoin will 100% just hit this area and then fall lower from 107, 108 back down to 97. I'm not expecting this. I'm just giving you guys some cautious signs and warning signs that maybe, just maybe, us not being able to reclaim 108 would mean that this would be similar to what happened previously. Now that we're done with this, just forget everything. Do not care much about these facts. I just wanted to give you the whole idea. Just mainly focus on the idea to maybe short, because shorting this would either give us a little short that would maybe last for a day or two, and then maybe we'll close it and then pump higher. We'd never know. But us getting a short here based on a little smaller fact, which is maybe a little fake out on a scalp time frame, would maybe turn from a little scalp into a larger one that would give us, or take us lower. And also I've got an idea to long here. So irregardless of the fact that 108 is much more stronger as a level than the 105 area, I'm going to focus on them as little time frames. I'm just going to focus on a short idea if we go back above 108, 107. I'm going to focus on an idea for a long here. Now, what would happen later on if for example, we get the best long, and then we get this long, and then we get a bad reaction, a fake out, and we open a short? Us opening a short here would maybe mean that we get a successful short and maybe just lock in profit, and then whatever happens. But maybe us getting this would be quite lucky, because would be actually the sign that Bitcoin actually does what it did previously from the pump from 116 to 103 to 116. So hopefully everybody understood. I just wanted to give you clear idea of where to short and long next, guys. Thank you actually for staying along with me. Now that we're done with this, guys, I just wanted to give you also read the comments. Sorry for actually not speaking or reading comments for the beginning. I just want to quickly break down the important stuff. Now I'm going to stick along with you, answer your comments, and also most important, guys, I'm going to also focus on taking these shorts and longs with you. I'm trying to actually stay for longer, guys, every single time, because I'm trying, especially these setups would be perfect for us to take, because I see them as, to be honest, something that is quite good, to be honest. So now let me just make the anchor view ups lines a bit thinner, and now let me take a quick look at the hold on, guys. Let me take a quick look. Look at the comments. I'm going to actually read them in a few seconds, and also see if someone has taken or did not take the previous shorts or longs ideas that we've actually broken down. So let me just take a quick look at the comments. Thank you, brothers, for showing up. Thank you, Vikrant, Zloty, and also G Hobby, and also Mountain Smashy. Wayne, how are you doing, brother? Day 5. Yes, thank you for counting and also for showing up every single day. Hopefully it's not quite too early for you, brother. Baskran said thank you. You're always welcome. Everybody's always welcome, guys. By the way, thank you guys for actually showing up and supporting me every single day. We were just gotten done with the weekend show on the Moon Show, guys, and we did, I think, something good, to be honest. A good job, to be honest. I wouldn't say that I did perfectly, but I'm always trying to at least try my best, and actually trying my best is actually everything that I can actually at least shoot for. Smashy said I have a short order at 108.3 with a stop loss and I take profit. To be honest, just because I'm trying to actually give you guys my own opinion, it's all up to you, brother, if you want to actually have a short order. But I'd much prefer just you having an alert on. Please just cancel your order. It's up to you, but if you want to like take my advice, just cancel your order and then just put a limit order at the top. Like I've got multiple alerts, sorry, not an order. Put a alert on at 106.6 at the current high, and also at 107.2, and then just wait, because had you actually listened to me, quote unquote listen to me, and then you put a limit order for a short here from the previous TA, you would have actually lost money, because you couldn't you would have actually entered the trade and then lost money with this breakout. So it's always good to put an alert on, and then if the break or the fake out happens when you're actually awake and you've got like your screen on, you're able to visually look at the candles and make or come to your opinion or actually decision to open up a trade. That would be much better than actually just randomly deciding to put on randomly just putting on a limit order, and then what happens. Because even though I just literally spent 10 minutes talking about how important these lines are, as I told you guys, you must only put an alert, because it's always the case, as I said in the beginning, that if we break 108, there's nothing would hold us back from going to 114, guys. So please be cautious. Even though I like the idea of you being interested in this area to short, please do not be too early when it comes to actually putting on a limit order. Do not like try to actually make it automatic in terms of actually trading with, like, similar to what you're doing with the bot. Do not like put your stop loss and take profit too early when you haven't even seen how the candles would react at the specific lines, guys. So I know that, and thank you. Sorry, hopefully you got the point. I'm also going to talk about these levels. Hold on a second, please. Hold on, give me a second. All right. If you have any other questions, brothers, just give it to me. Give it to me in the comment section. I'm also going to talk about ETH, because ETH is too important too. Reason I have the short order there, because of the head and shoulder on the daily time frame. Thank you, brother, for giving me the reason. But to be honest, just to give you my own opinion, brother, is that, to be honest, like just my own opinion, that I do not actually recommend, or you do whatever you'd like, but I do not actually recommend you trading based on a head and shoulder, triangle, whatever patterns you want to call it, because I think they're like this. Their success rate is too low. It's quite easy to just open up a chart. Like everybody, the learning curve is too easy if you only base your TA skills on like patterns. If you want to call this a little triangle, call this a little whatever. See, like, even though I'm not calling the stuff that I talk about advanced, but see how, like, if you had spent an hour, 2 or 3 with me talking about TA, you would think, or it would require more hours than the normal pattern thing that maybe could be drawn out, because like everybody can look visually and learn TA if TA is just patterns and drawings. It's not an art school, basically. This is my own opinion. Like, you're talking about liquidity, talking about order flow, volume, like structures, price action. These are all like hard concepts to maybe learn, but once you learn them, at least the payoff or the payout would be much higher than just understanding or reading a certain, to be honest, pattern. You learn how to draw a pattern, and then you think that this is easy or quite easy to take or do. So hopefully, brother, you've understood what I'm trying to actually get at here. Hold on a second. Let me just quickly take a look at the comments again. Thank you, brother, for actually giving me a reason. Although I haven't quite understood where's the head and shoulder side of it. I know what patterns are. I've tried them. This is why I don't like them. But to be honest, like, I'm always up to everybody's using their own. To be honest, like, way of trading. I'm never against someone using patterns if they're working with you. If you make money out of them, that's always quite good, to be honest. Slotty said, I hope BTC bottomed, as Ivan on Tech used to say, at 98.99. That could be true. So anyways, let me take a quick look at ETH, guys, because by the way, Ethereum could actually see a little more pump to the upside on yesterday's weekend show, on the Moon Show, brothers. We've spoken about or broke down how the ETH right now has at least held on to an important area, which is 3,300, but it's not quite out of the danger zone too, because similar to what Bitcoin got at 108, 107, ETH has it too at around 3,800. So for ETH to become not ultra bullish, but at least like a bit bullishness into ETH, we must reclaim 3,800. If you go above this, if you hold this line and reclaim it, then we can technically say that ETH right now, what happened previously is just a fake out, and us holding and reclaiming 3,800 would probably like result in ETH going to 4,700. So this is my expectations, but this would require us reclaiming 3,800. So please do not take me or take it as, or if I'm saying or talking about break and 3,800 resulting in this huge move, do not take it as me predicting that this would happen. I'm not saying that this would happen, because we haven't yet seen how ETH is going to react at 3,800. But as I said, if we hit this line and then we reclaim it, then yes, that would be true, because I'll be waiting for a much bigger pump. But as I taught you guys, or as I've explained previously, every single line that, like, whenever I say that breaking this resistance would cause a huge pump, that would usually mean two things: that I'm going to be waiting for either a short trade, a short setup based on us not being able to break that said resistance, or us breaking it easily and then just not doing anything. Because at this line, even though I'm going to be like cautious at this area, I have an alert on. If we see a fake out, I'm going to take a short, because this is a very important area. Us not being able to reclaim it would mean that we'll probably actually get a nice short. But if we get not offered the short, if we don't get offered the short, then I'm going to be actually waiting, holding on, and not longing. You'll never catch me longing, just based on the fact that holding this would cause a huge move to this side. What I'm going to do is, once we go above 3,800, what I'm going to do is actually being cautious or conscious of the fact that holding this would mean that we'll go up to this, but then later on I'm going to be waiting for a little, maybe a long scalp that would be inside this good bullish range. So maybe I'll be waiting for ETH to go above to maybe let's say 4,500, and then I'm going to be waiting for a little scalp, inner scalp setup, for example, like waiting for a specific idea that would maybe take or require a little dump within the broader important bullish area. I'm going to enter here, for example, and then take it all the way up to 4,600. So you will never catch me, longing the break out of a resistance line. But if this break or resistance line would allow us to be within a broader bullish area or range, I'm going to be looking or waiting for a little dump within the whole pump or the larger scale pump for us to enter a trade. So I'm always looking for a long when the price going lower, and I'm always looking for a short when the price going higher, higher, no matter where or exactly what time frame it is. You'll never catch me actually like jump into a long when the price going or doing just quickly quick move to the upside. Thank you, Wayne. Smashy said, not gonna lie, ETH aged me a lot this bull run, lol. Yeah, to be honest, ETH has been, to be honest, it has done wonderfully in terms of actually day trading and also investing, because had you just bought from the beginning of this little, like, or not little, a strong a bull run, you would have made a lot of, or shit ton of money, to be honest, excuse my language, because like buying literally blindly from April to the end of August would have actually made you a lot of money. But yes, to be honest, once we had done or gotten the all-time high, then we had seen some weakness. But even the weakness was very, very technical, because like, now I'm not going to brag or show off, because at that time we weren't going live on this channel. But if you go back to how I was trading when I sold ETH at the top, I basically made a video selling or saying that I sold ETH at 4,800. After that, it was quite easy to trade ETH. See how powerful these volume tools are. Like, to be honest, my goal for actually going live and making videos every single day on this channel would be, more importantly, to teach you guys, or at least share. It's up to you if you want to be taught or not, but teach you or share the way I like to trade, guys, because I'm not saying it's the most powerful thing, but based or because it allowed me to become a profitable trader, I'd love for everybody to at least get a better idea of how I'm exactly trading, and then it's up to you if you want to actually implement it or not within your actual daily routine of trading. But just to give you a quickly idea of how strong this little like volume profile tool. See how like ETH, even though like I'm doing TA with knowing the candles, but even if you hadn't known, see how strong the point of control was. Like, you knowing that this is the most important area, see how many times we actually reclaimed it and went back up, held it on. We literally held it on. We could have taken like 10 or 20 longs for a full 2 weeks, because we were just bouncing from the point of control. And then see how strong it is from just rotating from value area low to value area high, losing value area high, going back down to value area low. So see how simple it is. This is what I'm saying, that if we go back above 3,800, I'm going to be expecting a pump to 4,700. So I know that it's quite simple, but trust me, it's much better in my own opinion than trading or drawing on your charts. That you never catch me. It's all up to you guys. It's all like, if it makes you money. This is always the thing that I say. Like, if someone has already made a lot of money by trading in a certain way, please do not let a random Arab guy convince you. I'm not trying to convince anyone, but if someone is like slightly getting convinced, please do not take it as advice if you are already making money with your own side of trading. But to be honest, in my own humble opinion, I think that this would actually be much better than just randomly. I'm not saying randomly, but at least it would be much better. It would make more sense than rather just drawing like trend lines, because trend lines do not represent an actual thing within the market, in my own opinion. This is my technical view of the market, because like, what does a trend line represent? Why is it like exactly what does it show whenever we say an head and shoulder pattern, for example? Like, what does that mean? Like, whenever I say or talk about volume profile, the reason why I'm not just tooting my own horn or saying that I've got the best way of trading, but the reason why I chose to go the volume order flow route in trading is because these are actual stuff. Whenever I put a volume profile tool on, I take a volume profile pull, no matter or wherever I take it, it's always like shows me actual stuff. Like, this volume little stuff, this volume areas are not random. It's just basically how many buys and sells were done at a specific area. So like, I literally have actual data that shows me where exactly areas of interest are, based historically of the areas that were actually the most in terms of being bought and sold, you know. This is exactly why I prefer this way of trading. I'd never like force it upon someone to learn this way, but I'm just saying that whenever I talk about areas and technical stuff, I'm always trying to link it with actual market behavior and market psychology. Like whenever I talk about liquidity being grabbed, whenever I talk about this Monday high being taken, it could be much boring than just drawing little lines here. Sorry, little lines here and there. I know that it's much boring than using an indicator like the RSI, MACD, whatever kind of indicator you guys are using. As you can see, I literally have 0 indicators here. I do not use indicators. Personally, I do not like them, even though if you're making money with them, that's totally fine. But my point is here that I know that the stuff I speak about are more boring, maybe, but they could actually make you more money because, like, what does liquidity mean? Liquidity just means that I think that there's an area visually with the candles that would tell me that there's a huge amount of shorts, that if we actually take them out, we make shorts liquidated, we make longs being stuck, and then fall lower, we're going to go lower. So see how I'm giving you actual reasons in terms of actual, like, tangible stuff rather than just drawing shapes on the screen. So hopefully guys, you've got the idea. Wise Choice said, which volume tool are you using on the trading view? Basically just the normal volume profile, fixed range volume profile, brother. So second one in the volume based section. There are so many. I think there are two. The first one is just anchored, so basically just put it on and then it adds to it. So I don't really recommend this because it's literally just a bit random. But if you take the volume profile, fixed range volume profile, the reason why I like it because it's actually, from its name, is actually fixed. Like you have the chance, or you get to choose where to put it from. What are the indicators that you are using currently? I'm not using an indicator, but just to answer truthfully, even though that me saying that if I say yes immediately, then you think that I'm using actual indicators, but I'd say no. But to be honest, technically, yes, I've got indicators that I use because they are actual indicators. I do not use them. I just open them up and like turn them on and then turn them off whenever I'm not needing them. So I just use them quickly just for my daily routine. The first one is just a VWAP. I haven't used it for a while, but just maybe, or just similar to the anchored VWAP. But this one is just put at the beginning of the daily cycle or the daily candle. So at the beginning of the day, this blue line would tell me where is the average price for the whole day, or not for the day, like from the beginning of the day, using the volume. So it's called VWAP. So from the name, VWAP, volume weighted average price. So using this indicator would tell me every single day where is the average price in respect to the volume. I do not use it. I haven't like opened it ever for months, to be honest, because I prefer using the anchored VWAP. Anyways, the second one is just the volume profile tool that I use, but it actually just divides them into different days. So it would put a volume profile that I've got, like I can literally do it myself. Like this is just an easier way to get a volume profile pull on every single day. But as I told you, these are just time savers for me. I do not need them. I do not depend on them like the second one. The first one I can literally put from an anchored view up. The second one I can literally put by using the actual volume profile and doing it one by one. Like I take a volume profile pull, I take it to Monday, Tuesday, and see the end. So it would take me maybe minutes to do this, but I can literally do it. Like just or maybe not minutes, maybe a minute, because I just need to do this and then do this. See how like it's literally just a volume profile divided for every single day. So it just saves me time rather than just having to put it by myself. So that's the second indicator that I've got on, and the third one is very, very boring. As I said, that the third one is just an indicator that shows me the highs and the lows for every single day. So see how I told you Monday, this was the high. Everybody would agree that this is the Monday low, Monday high, and this is the Monday low, but it just saves me time rather than just having to manually look for the time and see where's Monday, where's Tuesday, where's whatever. So see, I have the line, the red being the high and the green being the low of every single day. So it's just a quick little indicator. See how like I'm not using an actual indicator? This is why I said no when you asked me, because they're not actual indicators. They are technically indicators, but they're not literally like the rest of the indicators. They're not showing me like the RSI, MACD, ABD, whatever random three-letter name acronyms everybody's using. Like the reason why I'm or just to give you an idea, my my advice, or not my advice, my opinion of me not using or disliking indicators are not coming out of ignorance, brothers. I've been doing this. I've tried indicators. Trust me. I've tried the RSI divergence, bullish RSI divergence, hidden bullish RSI divergence, triangle pattern. It's a symmetrical pattern. Is symmetrical triangle. The every single one, like the falling wedge, the rising wedge, the shoulder pattern, cup and handle. Name it, you name it, I've tried it, brothers. So it's not coming out of random ignorance. I've literally done it for years, and I've been trying to become profitable traders. So when I tried or learned volume and I added a couple of ideas of order flow, reading the market and seeing the highs and lows and liquidity, that turned me into a profitable trader. So I'm not saying that you cannot make money or become a profitable trader out of using indicators, but I'm just saying that when I made the switch to using volume and reading the market, it made me a much better trader, hence why I became a profitable trader. So hopefully, guys, you've got the idea. Just quickly give me a second to get a sip of water. Hold on a second, brothers. Wayne said we gained almost another 100 subs over the week. Given thanks for that, and the daily TA smashed the likes 1,000 subs before 2026. Yeah, even prior to that, my goal is, just to give an idea, guys. My goal is to smash 1,500 at the end of November. I know that's far fetched, probably, but I always like to shoot, as they say, shoot for the stars and then land on the moon. So let's see how that would happen, actually, to be honest. So I'm just I'm just going with the flow, as they say. I'm not like specifically looking for a set or a set number of subs. I'd never ask for subs. I never ask for someone to sub. I'm just doing what I love every single day, brothers. Like, even on the weekend, I wouldn't call it sacrifice, but I gave up my weekends to start the weekend show on the moon show. So I'm trying to give as much as possible in terms of information, details, and also subs, and not subs, setups within Bitcoin longs and shorts. I'm talking about like some other altcoins, even though you haven't seen me much talk about altcoins because I'm waiting for some strength. I'd hate to do a little TA on a random coin and then for that coin to go 50% down. So I'm just being a bit cautious. I know that I haven't much like shown off my quote unquote skills whenever we're doing TA, but as you can see, like I've got literally every single coin drawn out. TA was done on them. I've been doing TA for a while, so I've got some stuff, important stuff. Like, I have an opinion for some other altcoins, but for now I'm trying to keep my TA just mainly for Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. I'm also quite happy about the Solana pump because we literally had this area drawn out and we were ready for this for the past week or two. I think I spoke about this when I went live, not for the first time, but maybe before that, when we were doing this, and even on the weekends moon show we were talking about this every single day, guys. Tahir said Bitcoin, or Tahar maybe, Bitcoin 106,174. Yeah, I've got it open here. We're just waiting for it, brothers. If we get it together, maybe we can short together. Like, I'd prefer, to be honest, for the price to not hit it yet because we haven't opened the New York session. I'd rather for this to be held on. We go lower, get the long, and then open the next session, get the short, and then for this. So this would be my perfect scenario. But as I told you guys, from the time I opened up the live stream, I'm just waiting for higher prices to come. I'd like to see the reaction at this area. If we get given the short before the long, I'm obviously going to take it. I'm never against taking the one before the other one because we can maybe get this and never get offered the long and we fall lower. So let's just wait and see which one plays out first. Good afternoon, my brother. Thank you, Michael, for showing up. Good afternoon to you too, whatever the time is for your respective countries. I know that right now I think it's quite early in the morning for Wayne and the brothers in the US, but hopefully it is as told you, quite informative and also quite good in terms of actually watching it. As told you guys, always do not worry about missing out on the beginning of a live stream, midway through the live stream if you show up, or even at the end, because every single live stream would actually be like recorded and be put obviously on the section. So once I'm done with the live stream, you'll always find it fully on the live stream section on this channel. So never worry about it, guys. Even if you miss out on the first like 10 minutes, because usually the first 15 to 20 minutes are the most important ones, where I try to break down as quickly as possible what's up or what's new with Bitcoin and the closest ideas. And even if you miss out on these first 20 minutes, you're always welcome to like watch it before going live, or before watching the rest, or even waiting for the live to be done. So watch whatever is left of it and then go back and watch the beginning. Smashy said, do you think that we see bear market before all season? To be honest, I have no idea, brother. Thank you, Tahar. To be honest, Smashy, I have no idea. I know my answers are a bit boring, but I wouldn't like to answer something that I have no idea of, to be honest. Like, I cannot know. Maybe like if you're asking, do you think so? It's an opinion based answer, so I think it's quite fine to say my opinion, but I literally have no opinion about it. Like, I have no, like, for me to have an opinion as someone who's like who'd like to think that he's rational, for me to have an opinion, I'd have to have a reason behind this. So because I do not have a reason, I won't be able to answer that question, unfortunately. Sorry for not being able to answer it. Michael said, would you have 4 wave down tank 5 up to I have no idea what you meant. Maybe you can clarify your question. Honest answer is the best. Thank you for your appreciation, brother. I'm sorry for not being able to answer it. If I see something that is important, if I see something that is quite good, I'm going to answer it. I have an opinion on maybe altcoins that I like. I have an opinion about this stuff, but unfortunately, just to give you guys an idea, that I've been saying literally for not years now, but for over 2 years on my Arabic channel. Every single time I get asked a question, I always say one thing: you're always free to ask me any sort of question, and I'm always quite gladly going to answer every single comment. But just to give you a heads up, that just to not waste your time, if your question has something related to any sort of timing, like when would this happen, will we do this, or will we do this, I won't be able to answer that. I'll read your comment, answer respectively, but I wouldn't be able to give you something or a coherent answer, unfortunately. CoinPulse said, could you help us understand your entry model? Basically, my entry model for a specific area, it depends on what kind of setup I'm looking for, but just to give you an idea, most of my entries or most of my setups would be around a take of liquidity and also a certain hit. So maybe, or just to give you a better, clear idea. Thank you for your technical questions. I always enjoy these technical questions, brothers. Before I answer this question, before I forget, brothers, I forgot to talk about the final day of the trading competition. We only got 1 day and 2 hours left, and for after 2 hours and 42 minutes, the second to last $600 will be given away, and then we'll only have 1 day left. So technically we still have 2 days left, but one of these days has only 2 hours left on it. But after that, we only get 1 final day. If you want to actually join in, make an account on Weeks and actually get the chance to win the final $600, or not the full final, because it's broken down, as you can see. The leaderboard is basically first one gets $200, second gets $150, third $150 for the fourth, and lastly $20 for the fifth. So if you want to actually participate and compete for the last one, it's never a must, brothers. I'm just saying it just because I know that some of you guys as traders would like to make a little bit of money. So Weeks does not require KYC. Just literally go to the first link in the description. That would take you to this page, and then if you do not have an account with me, just go lower, scroll lower, press on sign up, press on this yellow button. It will take you to the sign up page. Make an account. Not only do we have the nice 40% limited time bonus, as you can see, it's 20%, but for the first $100 you'd get 40 instead of 20. So we have a nice deposit bonus. But regardless of that, we also using this or make an account right now will give you the chance of actually competing. You only have 26 hours. And if you rank highly, as I told you guys, every single day, like when the 2 hours like are done and we only have 1 hour left, the leaderboard will be actually cleared out and will start a new day. So do not be worried of the fact that you will not be able to compete, because the competition only like resets every single 24 hours. So after 2 hours, you'd have a clean slate of you trying to actually compete for the final one. If you get the first place, as this guy is doing, as you can see, there's only 2 hours. If he gets the first place, he'll get $200. So every single day we've been giving out this nice competition. And if you want to participate, I think I've said it enough, so just go to the link, be my guest if you want to actually participate. If this is something that you wouldn't like to do, no issues at all, brothers. As told you, weeks does not require KYC, and I quite like it a lot as a day trader, brothers. So if you want to do it, you've got the link. If you do not want to do it, be my guest, brothers, just for showing off and actually showing up. Smashy said, off topic question: do you live in Dubai? Because I see you on the Moon Show a lot. Just wondering. Yes, that is true, brother. I do live in Dubai. This is why my timings are always given in Dubai time. So we go live at 4 p.m. Dubai time, or at least I try to go live at 4 p.m. Today I went live at 4:30 Dubai time. So yes, that is true, brother. Thank you for question. Actually, thank you for noticing this, because yes, I've been working with the Moon a lot as someone who's a part of the team, and also I've been doing the weekend show Saturdays and Sundays. So we started, or the reason why I started going live on the English channel, even though like I'm still, by the way, guys, like every single day I've been going live for the past 2 years on my Arabic channel. This isn't something that I've been doing it. This isn't something that I've been doing only for this month, but I had started the English one for the past 3 months, and I did not get the chance to at least build a community enough for me to go live. So now that we're done with this, now that we're done with actually building a nice community, at least having one brother showing up every single time in the comments, I'm quite happy to start actually putting more effort in. Not only I won't stop doing these little quick updates. Do not actually worry of the fact, brothers, I'm going to always show up with a little 5-minute video, but I'm also adding this new live stream. From last week we have started it, and right now we are actually going to show up. If you know me, you know that I never miss a day, brothers. Hopefully, if the health is good, if I'm staying at least partially healthy, I'm going to show up every single day, Monday to Friday, on my own channel, Champs Crypto. And then in addition, I'll be always still going on the weekend show Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm literally covering 7 days of the week, 30 days, or maybe 31 days depending on the month, every single time. And also, not only on the English one, I'm still doing my regular Arabic content. So whatever I do on the English one will be doubled, because I always do on the Arabic one. So I'm trying to push as much information as possible for as many as possible in terms of viewers, brothers. So thank you for your question. Also, thank you everyone who've been actually quite supporting me and making it quite easy for me to transition and start this new journey of going live on the English channel. So just to end it off, brothers, I'm just waiting for a short here, a long here. I'm quite happy, but I'm still waiting for 108 to be broken. If you have not watched the beginning of the video or the live stream, make sure to watch it again, because this first 15 minutes, 20 minutes has the most important info. And as told you guys, do not miss out. Only if you want to make money, and just because weeks doesn't require KYC. So you go and make an account right now using my referral code. Not only would it help me a lot, and that would be totally nice of you guys. I'd never, to be honest, push you or force you to do something like this. But if you want to do it, that would help me too. But you will get the deposit bonus, and also you'll get the chance to compete for the final $600 that would be given away for tomorrow, brothers. We got only 24 hours left. Thank you, brother, for showing up. Thank you, Paul. Hey, champs, loving your channel, learning heaps, and I'm now on the journey with you daily. Thank you, brother, for your nice comments, and hopefully I'd be able to show up and come up and continue the journey. So get on the ride with me. Paul has done it, so let's everybody build a little community all together and start getting the best traders. If you haven't yet starting your profitability journey in trading, hopefully I'm going to try my best to actually get you there every single day. So now that we're done with this, thank you, brother, for showing up. Thank you, Ziad. Thank you, brothers, for actually your nice comments. Just wait for these trades, and now I think I should leave you. Enough of me talking. Get onto trading and actually